Hey guys, Lewis Howell here, and before I even get into it, I just want you to know I'm loving what I see. I'm loving what I see. Now, what am I loving? What am I loving? Okay, let me talk to you. For anyone who, if you're like myself, you've been working in the youth and community sector, whether you're doing that through schools, colleges, universities, or maybe you're working for different youth and community organizations. For anyone who's been working around this field, you will agree that right now, where we are in terms of seeing organizations and institutions creating social action programs and projects, we are at a fantastic time in history. We're seeing so many different young people get involved in this type of work, and it's brilliant. But of course, there is always room for improvement. And that's why when I deliver consultancy to organizations, or when I go in and speak at schools, colleges, unis, organizations as discussed, or go in and deliver training or help set up programs, whatever it may be, I always like to focus on where the strengths are already, but how we can actually improve on those. So in terms of strengthening, what I really like to think about is how can we create more impact? How can we create more impact? And that's why this video is the first one in this series of free content that I'm going to be giving you guys, because I feel it's time to give back. Been working in this field, as I said, for a while. Some free content to give you guys to look at how we can create higher impact with our social and community action programs and projects. So what am I going to be speaking about today? Collaboration for creating a compound effect. Collaboration for sake of creating a compound effect. Now, why do I want to discuss this? I'm going to give you a story. I remember when I first sort of started working in this type of area, especially looking at community and social action. I remember I was running an international program, and some of the guys that I was working with on it, they were from Bangladesh, and I said to them, "Oh, so what kind of social action takes place over in Bangladesh, and what kind of things do you guys do in your communities?" And they said, "Oh, well, one of our programs that we're delivering at the moment is to actually campaign for rights to education for young people in the country." I said, "What, for the whole country?" They said, "Yeah." I said, "Wow." Now, not to really put any of us down or dishearten anyone, but I looked at it and I said, but more often than not, we're satisfied with just some young people refurbishing a local church. We're satisfied with some young people doing a cake sale so that they can raise money for a charity, which, don't get me wrong, these things are important, but it just made me realize when people collaborate, look at how much impact can be made. They're doing that on a national scale for something as huge as education rights for young people. So what I had to start thinking about was, well, actually, something we're missing over here possibly then is when we go about setting up our programs, we might have 5 young people working on a social action project here, 5 young people working on a project here, 5 young people working on a project here, which is understandable because they all have different skills, knowledge, experience, talents, wisdom that they want to be able to feed in to be able to make an impact on certain problems in a chosen community. But what if we were to be able to find a link between what all of them are doing and then get them to collaborate? Because now what we're doing is, by saying that we've got a collaborative project which is going to tackle a bigger problem, we can now tap into, which we often forget, the networks of each of those young people. You don't have 5 young people working on a social action project. You have 5 young people plus the 50 people, whether they be friends, family, work colleagues, other people that they know, who now, if they was to go and speak to those 50 people about this collaborative project that they're doing, those 50 people might turn around and say, wow, I want to see how I can help. I want to see how I can support. I want to see what resources I might be able to provide for that to be able to be even more successful. So you don't just have 5, 10, 15 young people working on a social action project. What you actually have is hundreds of people who now come in as key stakeholders, hundreds of people that are adding resources that those guys can use to then be able to make a higher impact. And of course, if we want to look at the return for ourselves, as organizations, as institutions, if we are able to create some sort of program or project that's going to create a huge impact in community or society, what does that mean? It raises our profile. Because we were able to put together the group of young people, we were able to coordinate the young people, we were able to give them the opportunity to create such an impact in a community, and we'll be recognized for that. So do bear that in mind. Collaboration for sake of creating a compound effect. Because I'm telling you, if you start to apply this concept, you'll be able to create so much more impact. So, do drop a like on this video, do drop a share, because I've kept it short. I have kept it short because I understand that I don't want to bore you guys with some long documentary type video. Hopefully this is the first tip that you guys can use to start making more of an impact. As I said, also leave a comment. I'd really like to know your thoughts on this topic of collaboration and creating a compound effect. So do feel free to get back to me via email. All of my details can be found on lewishowell.com. Reach out to me via social media, whatever it may be. And I really love your thoughts on this. And I look forward to speaking to you guys again soon.